Yo ho, good morning, guys. Welcome back to another pre market live stream. Apologies for the little bit of a delay. Was trying to sort out something in the back end. But welcome into this stream. It's back on a Monday, and we have a little bit to talk about here. So, essentially, most of the market's trajectory for the past couple of weeks have not exactly been the best, and now you're starting to see that the market broke out of our bullish plan from the last that we spoke on Wednesday, but didn't really give us an entry, right? So we were hoping for that pullback. It never came back, right? And then it had continued to consolidate and break for the higher here, which means that now we're going to have to be somewhat a little bit more careful, going forward. So um, this area up here obviously is a key level for previous rejection. So market open will determine what happens at this key level, 5240. If it breaks that, we go higher to 5260 and then eventually back at around 5280. So that's the upside trajectory for today. But if we don't go through to break out from here, then the rejection opens up for the downward retest of 5190 roughly, and that would be the correction back into this channel. So I'll be watching out for both scenarios. On the macro though, there's a little bit to update you guys, so let me get into that first. So obviously pre-market here, you can see from our research analyst that puts together these reports. We have open interest changes. Biggest ones are going to be NVDA, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, and SMCI. Now, if you want full access to this, you can sign up for our Discord. 14 days free trial is available. And also, these will give you the day over day open interest changes for any one of these tickers. So really handy to have if you want to know exactly what's going on for every strike and every expiry. So it gives you and tells you whether it's towards the bid side or the ask side, and that's helpful in helping you understand if it was bought or sold, right? And what I wanted to get to was all this stuff. So the S&P 500 return till date is the biggest in actually the communication sector, services sector. Second is technology. Third is energy, and then utilities, financials, industrials. These are the biggest contributing year to date so far. Real estate is down massively, and if you look at it in terms of percentage, this is pretty staggering, right? Like look at NVIDIA is up 80%, right? That's crazy. Eli Lilly is up 26%. Microsoft 8%, Apple down. But excuse me. Apologies. But I wanted to also talk about this concept that I've been seeing floating around. Sell in May, go away. I think you guys have heard about this before. Market keeps talking about it. But I wanted to show you guys that this is the S&P 500 returns during a 6 months period after this. And it might seem to you at first glance that, the performance for the next 6 months is going to be absolute dog shit. But we don't always have bad Mays. That's the thing, right? So actually, if you look at it, most of the time, the S&P 500 return is positive during that period, and during May to October, and also summer rallies are very common in election years. Look at the performance of the S&P 500 here. June, July, August tends to be strong during an election year. I feel like this was important information to share with you guys. If you find it interesting, let me know, and I'll keep sharing information like this. So we tend to do really well in summer months during election years. That's a correlation. And this is the current EPS for surprise for the earnings season. Pretty big surprises coming out. 77% of the S&P 500 companies have big EPS. And more than that, on top of that, the Apple has bought back a shit ton of its own shares, right? Look at the share buyback ratios here. Um, Pretty staggering stuff. Now, there is more for me to share with you guys. This is on China. Apple. So Apple had 110 billion buyback. You guys know, I'm pretty sure you heard about this. You guys ever fathom how much $110 billion is? That's that's like the more than the market cap of most companies. They did a buyback in that in that amount. That's wild, right? To me, that's wild. But anyway, back to the chart here. So you can see that economy is pretty strong in terms of actual earnings performance. Growth is still happening across the board. Obviously, even if it's a bit slower, there is still growth, which is good. We just obviously in these tight economic conditions, which are on the basis of loosening, we're starting to see the market price in all of that here, right? The same as you can see on the NASDAQ, right? Which is on its way back to all-time highs. Not very far away now, right? Very, very likely to get there. And then you might see another battle between the bulls and the bears at all-time high, right? The 10-year yield, it's flirting with the all-important trend line that it has formed on the daily, right? And this will be kind of a test of whether it's going to break below or above. This is just the yield, so we'll have to see where the bond market goes, and that's going to signal its own thing. And then you have small mid caps, which is IWM, and this is still kind of consolidating, not really doing much. You have the dollar index. The dollar index, not fully out of the woods here. If the dollar decides to bounce once again in this area, it could become a problem, you see. And amongst all of this, the VIX is up 6%. So you can see that overnight, obviously, people are starting to take hedges in the S&P 500 futures. So people are trying to hedge against this potential rejection that's approaching right now. And from the backbone of the market, you can kind of understand that with the VIX pre-market being up here, that means volatility is higher. It means people are buying both calls and puts. Okay. So the hedging activity has started to become more. Now, I hope that some of you caught the play on utilities. If you did, I would love to hear if you did catch a bit of the utilities play. I closed out NEE for a really nice gain this past week. And we posted some opportunities on the Discord. One of them is Zscaler, which is kind of gone for a big liquidity drawdown. I'm not really sure what happened here. Some news must have come out causing it to sell off into a pool of liquidity here. And I'm of the mind that this could easily snap back all the way to 180 if buying starts to increase here because of this big pool of liquidity that got drawn on. I have a feeling that there were a whole bunch of sell orders that were waiting to be executed here, and a market maker went to grab them and is pushing prices higher, which will cause a short squeeze if the problem persists and people start speculating to the upside. So I'll be interested to see what the open interest for the option chain on this one is like. Next is PDD. This one last week, it made the move, but couldn't really catch it in time. It didn't pull back yet. It's been moving sideways. Be watching this. Guys, you should be looking at China. China is moving. You know, it's breaking out of its consolidation. If you haven't noticed, please go look at HSI. Right, there's tons of money to be made in other markets. It's not just U.S. markets that you can make money from. Always remember that. Right, you can make money from many other markets. Your job as a trader is not to just find one market. Look at the bounce on the Hang Seng Index here. Right, this is a strong bounce. So obviously you don't want to play it to the upside just yet, but when it comes down for that confirmation, you can. In fact, here is still a good spot to buy some of it though, right? If you were actually interested in trading some of these. But with that being said, Baba is back on the drawing board, right? It's moved pretty strongly. Pre-market up 3% today. This should be one of those that's on your radar potentially. How do I make this scale with the chart? There you go. Okay, so you have 77, 76 as your key level here. And it's already broken above here. So if my guess is anything, Baba is going to probably run for 88 bucks over here. Very, very high chance that that happens. If it comes down, so if it runs like this, I don't want it, right? Only if it comes down to dip its toes back into the $80 region is where I would enter long there, right? Add one at $80, a second one at 77.50 or $78, somewhere around here. That would be a attractive risk to reward ratio for me. So those are a couple of trade ideas that I'm looking at right now. And yeah, I'm gonna hop on and start kind of getting this thingamajig going. For those of you that are not aware, if you had a TD Ameritrade account prior to this, your account would have been, I think, transferred over to Charles Schwab by today. I had a string of long emails from them telling you how to do what, and so make sure you get that done if you haven't. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you have a great trading day, and I'll see you all back on Wednesday. If you have any questions, comments, post them on the Discord. Yes, you can join the Discord for free. There is a free access down in the description, and yeah, we'll catch you on Wednesday. Thank you. Peace.